This is a story message for food and beverage brands operating on Amazon in 2023. Listen, friends, I have been in this space for about 8 years, and specialties Amazon, and the last couple of years, really food and beverage category. Worked with pretty much, our team has worked in pretty much any vertical subcategory of food and beverage. Now, Amazon has never been an easy space to operate in. And as you know better than I do, scaling CPG profitably is, I don't know, probably second to the hardest job in the world, being second being first being parent. And there are two things that this year, in the last 18 months, probably really shifted things. One being the external circumstances, right? Like we have VC funding and investor funding really dwindling down. So there's just not that much free capital. Then second being recession, will like it admit or not, consumers are tightening their pockets. Fortunately, they still need to eat, right? So there's space that will still need to be. And third, that Amazon has now more sellers than ever. That number keeps growing, so competition keeps growing. Costs per click are increasing, so you can't really combat a cost. Like you have to, if you want to grow sales, you have to operate with marketing, and you have to operate with advertising. And outside of not participating in advertising marketplace, really you can't really control cost per click. But yet, Amazon is still the essential platform if you want to get anywhere in the DTC space, in at least in North America. That is the reality. So those are freaking completely contrarian scenario here, where you kind of it's so hard to succeed, yet you have to succeed because you're crazy enough to run a business, just like me, except food and beverage, you are really crazy. But we love you, and that's why we love working with food and beverage brands. So if you are a startup, if you're really super early, listen, don't go for full-blown, full-service agency betting on your future Amazon potential. This is coming from somebody who is running a team, specialized in Amazon. So basically, we're an Amazon agency, right? Because right now is the time to go for fundamentals. Time to go for fundamentals. By that I mean it's the boring stuff, the evergreen stuff, where you make sure your product is good and it's delivered with the full support of what promised. Make sure you take care of customers. You give them appreciation and attention. And that means in Amazon space, you treat bad reviews with attention. You make sure your products look presentable and attractive and, makes me want to buy. So I know this is kind of the fundamentals that you hear from everywhere over and over, but trust me, if there is time to really focus on honing fundamentals, it's now. Your unit economics P&L. If you listen to any of my prior videos, that you probably heard me talk about it day in and day out, because that's where the ship can sink. So Amazon transaction fees, whether it be or not, it's still going to be 25 to 40% or so, 30% being on average, right? So you have to make sure that your product offers on Amazon are supportive of your P&L, because you cannot fix unprofitable unit economics with scale. It just doesn't work. We see all the unicorns that went bust that tried to make it work. So it's again the time, fundamentals, and time for focus. So I'm going to talk about focus because I see where a lack of focus can really trip your growth opportunity in Amazon. And this is where sometimes we have to have hard conversations. By focus, I mean if there is time to really get attention with your budget, again, is now with your marketing and time and people budget. If there you have a lot of SKUs, be brutal. Who is not performing? There are little soldiers that are not giving you money. You need to promote others. Focus on your catalog, extremely important. Then who is supporting your Amazon? You be intentional again Do you need a team? Amazon, unfortunately, is a platform where you need various skill set. It's not even about, um, yes, it's hours because it's work that can be put on maintenance, but it's also the difference in skill set that it's really begs different people simply because somebody who's really, really good with fulfillment and catalog and uh, management is not the same person who's going to be delivering you great return on ad spend and really be good on the marketing side. So those are different skill set. And also you also need to have the overall strategy. You still need to have the graphics and SEO. All of that are different skill sets. But again, be realistic about the current phase of your Amazon business, what you want Amazon to achieve, and don't bet on the future potential to make up for anything that lacks today. Now there were two bigger brands. So we work with startup, but also larger, mid-size and large international brands with, obviously respective divisions responsible for DTC Amazon. So I know it's a little bit different picture for larger brands, but still there is a lot of attention on the CMOs, especially CFOs, to numbers and the deliverability of Amazon for business. So if you're a CMO or if you're in charge of Amazon success, have a conversations with whoever, whether it's agency who is supporting your Amazon, and be realistic about if you manage internally, do you need perhaps somebody? That is the time where you really could look externally to see where you can make up for what you don't have internally to really, really get Amazon sales and profitability that you need. So that is also the case to have clear expectations with the teams you work with and be very clear on business deliverables. This is where the support that we need as agencies, where we have honest conversations with what you as business need, what are your challenges as a business, because all of that spills over in Amazon. More than that, it's amplified in Amazon. Amazon is a space that makes everything that works well make it really good, or when it's not working well, then we can sync it. So if you don't have control of distribution, it really, really messes things up on Amazon. If you have production issues, then again, it's an honest conversation about that. So bad reviews or out of stock scenarios can be mitigated on Amazon. So that is also where perhaps looking at product lines and SKUs, and again, still back to basics and narrow down focus on where to put time, money, and people makes sense. Lean into your repeat customer. I know Amazon is not the most intuitive space. It's a very transactional platform where Amazon doesn't really care if you build repeat customers. So they just want more customers to buy it, but they don't really care if your brand has more repeat customers. But you sure do. So there's brand analytics number you need to hone in. So really, really we started digging in a lot more into LTV, subscribe and save, in segmentation, in brand tele promotions, in building out the whatever the few tools, but still are on Amazon in terms of creating audience and being able to market to them on Amazon within Amazon guidelines for launches and things like this. Really, really hone on that. Look into that because, as you know, more profitability achieved there after you, a lot of times have to pay to acquire first customer purchase on Amazon. So these are the fundamentals. Focus, deliver consistently on product quality, take care of reviews, take care of the team takes care of Amazon, and set expectations, performance standards with them, and have honest conversations with them. Focus on your product lines, the right SKUs. Lean into repeat customer, high value customer. There's all different segmentations that you can have on Amazon for your post initial purchase. And if you need help, come to us. Q4 is great time for a lot of subcategories in Amazon. And whether it's Q4 is the gifting time that plays into your brand, or it's Q1 where people are back to reality, also plays well into your brand seasonality, then leave a comment, or you can find us at redrocksecommerce.com or Red Rocks on LinkedIn as well. Take care.